Hey, today's Daily Bible Thought and the next 2 weeks of Daily Bible Thoughts all about Christmas. I thought it was a good thing to focus on, and today's may not seem like a Christmas passage to you. But if you're familiar with the Bible, if you've read the Gospel of Luke and you've looked at the first 2 chapters, you know that there's more going on than just Jesus getting born in those first couple chapters. So it's important to read the whole Bible. Now, you don't have to read it all at one time. You could take it a little bit at a time. But anyway, if you're going to read the Christmas story in the Bible, you need to think about everything that's happening around this season. And so Luke chapter 1 is where you want to start. Actually, you can start anywhere you want. But I'm going to tell you a little bit about another birth that was foretold and that was part of Jesus being born. But it's before that. So this is about John the Baptist. Maybe some things you didn't know. So Luke chapter 1 verses 5 through 7 read, "When Herod was king of Judea, there was a Jewish priest named Zechariah. He was a member of the priestly order of Abijah, and his wife Elizabeth was also from the priestly line of Aaron. Zechariah and Elizabeth were righteous in God's eyes, careful to obey all of the Lord's commandments and regulations. But they had no children because Elizabeth was unable to conceive, and they were both very old." So I told you it was about the birth of John the Baptist, and yet Zechariah and Elizabeth was unable to conceive. And I want to stress the fact that Elizabeth was a woman who was a little older, quite a bit older maybe, and had never had a child. And so the whole culture of that time would have looked at her in kind of a sad way. They would have been, they called her the barren one. Not the kind of nickname you really want to hang on to you through life. But as they were married year after year after year, they led godly lives, and yet God was not blessing them with children. And people talked. And so at this point, we're setting the stage for a miracle, a miraculous birth. But you have to take it a piece at a time. And so Zechariah and Elizabeth, godly, righteous people, followed God's commands, but they weren't blessed with children for many, many years. And she was nicknamed the barren one. So if this hurts to think about, then realize that God had a purpose in withholding children from them until a certain time. But God always has a purpose in all he does. And we need to be able to get to a point in trusting him. I need to be able to get to a point in trusting him, that I trust him in a way that is not based on the circumstances around me. So we're going to find out more about Zechariah and Elizabeth. If you want to cheat and read ahead, then read Luke chapter 1.